was confused about how to get a pair of sneaks, where to find sneaks, this and that. So I want to make a list on, do's and don'ts, how to get a pair of sneaks. So I got a list. I think I got 5 things that we have to break down.
Okay. Right? And that's a great idea.
Right. So this is going to be the list of 5 things that you must check out or make sure when you buying a pair of sneakers. So the first thing is going to be check sizing.
Check sizing.
The first thing is going to be check sizing. Check sizing. So what that means is if you're ordering online, there should be like a line under the description of the sneaker that says fits a size, or to say run small, or to say run bigger. Now, if you're inside a store, you want to try them on. You don't want to just, I know you think you know your size all the time, but that don't always work with every pair of sneakers. So if you actually in the store, you right there, you might as well just try them on.
That's a great tip.
Right.
Because another story, I'm a 9.5, right? 9 depending on the shoe, or even a 10 depending on the shoe. Right. I actually got a couple of pair of Jordans that are 8.5s.
Right.
Somebody was like, "What you trying to squeeze your foot?" I said, "No, I'm never going to squeeze my feet or nothing. I'm not going to hurt my feet." But it's the way they're made.
Right.
Some sneakers are made way bigger. Some leathers are a little bit more supple and they bust out and they break in. But some sneakers I'm an 8.5, some I'm an 9, some I'm a 9.5, and even some I'm a 10. So that tip is great. I mean, is an important tip. Check sizes. Right. Nothing like getting a pair of sneaks online.
Right.
You get them home and they too small or too big.
Right.
Now, it's hard sometimes returning them back to the store. I mean, return them back online or to a store.
All right, so that was number 1, people. Make sure you check sizing. So number 2 is going to be check the condition of the shoe. So what that means is if you're in the store, make sure you look at both shoes before you leave that store. make sure you look at both shoes before you leave that store, because
let's give them a proper demonstration.
Right.
So I'm going to actually get a box of sneaks that's right behind me, and we're going to properly show them how to examine both sneaks and what to look out for.
Right. So like I was saying, people, when you go in the store, they will try to play you, like, because they be having boxes with one sneaker might be busted. Somebody might have wore it, somebody might spill something on it, or it just might have been bad, coming to them. But they don't care about selling you that messed up pair of sneakers. If you don't pay attention to it, they will get you. So when you're in the store,
so the best way to do that, right, is to get when they bring your box out, they typically like to bring you one shoe, right? So they're going to bring you your one shoe, show you your shoe. You're going to try it on. Some people don't. They know their size depending on. So they'll give you one shoe. What you want to do on looking at the shoe is you want to look at the shoe, look at the sole, look at the bottom of the shoe.
Right.
Make sure there's no scuff marks in the front,
right,
sides, or back.
Right.
I'll let you know if somebody may have tried them on. You don't want no creases here in the front.
Thanks. Right? That's the biggest one. That's the biggest one right there.
The front lets you know somebody not only tried them on, but walked around the store with them.
Right.
Or they could have been brought back to the store, right? All right. You also want to look in the inside to make sure you got everything in there. Make sure everything looks good. Not only do you want to take the first one that they give you, but you also want to take the second shoe out as well.
Right.
Far too often when we're shopping for someone else, because typically when we're shopping for ourselves, we kind of do a little bit more due diligence behind looking at both shoes. But let's say you're going in there and you're getting your husband, your boyfriend, your son, your daughter, anybody a pair of sneakers, or they ask you to get them a pair of sneakers, and you go in there and you find them. Don't just look at the first one or don't open the box. Look at both. Make sure both sneakers are the same and make sure you have 2 different feet.
Right.
Open them up. Make sure the sizes is right. Sizes are on the side here, or on the tongue, and look in there and make sure both of them are a 9, 9.5, depending on whatever you're picking up. And make sure you have a left
And all right.
Right shoe. Sometimes you get two less.
Right.
You get home, shame on you.
Right.
Especially the special release.
Right.
That's only that you can only get one time.
Right.
Also, for your boxes, make sure your sneakers are put back in the box and they're ready to go. But you want to do your sneakers. You want to make sure your sneakers are properly checked before you leave out. That's one of the second biggest mistakes that we make going into a sneaker store is we'll get in there and we'll say, all right, I don't need to try them on.
Right.
Too big, too small. Secondly, not trying them on and not looking at them will have you buying two left shoes.
Right.
You get home and you pissed.
Right.
Because 9 times out of 10, you probably took that shoe on a vacation, a trip, or out of town. Now you're out of town thinking you about to kill them with this outfit.
Right. Now you always go on it and you lost in the sauce. And like Tara said, make sure you check both sneakers, the sizes, because if you walk out of that store with two different sizes, I promise you that's going to be a piss situation. And they might not even want to change them back.
They're not going to change them back because they're going to feel like you scammed them.
Right.
All right.
All right. Let's see what Marilyn's asking. She's asking, so if you ordered them, you can check all that if you get them. So I guess that's a big chance you're taking. I'm going to tell you how to do this when you're ordering online, Marilyn. When you're ordering online, this is the biggest thing. It'll tell you if it's a new sneaker, a used, a dead stock, whatever. You have to read the description when you're ordering online because I've seen times where you can get got with a used sneaker or whatever. But make sure you check in that description that it says new next to condition.
Or it's even like going into an appliance store. You know how they got open boxes?
Right.
You might get a shoe that box might be damaged.
Right. But that's what I'm about to say. I'm not mad at the damaged box. I'm not mad at the damaged box. As long as the sneakers is cool and they cut some of the price down on the box. See, that's what it is. A lot of that on Goop that you could probably get a damaged box, but they'll cut the price down for you.
Yeah.
So if it's a bad box and you don't really care about the box, I use glass cases, so I don't really care about the box. So if you don't really care about the box, you can get a discount on that if you're shopping online. But make sure you check online where it says the condition of the shoe. Because it might be when you see that price, you might just get excited. And you don't realize that you about to
buy $50. No.
Right.
Somebody's old shoe.
You might not realize that you about to buy a pair of old shoes, and then you're going to be pissed when they come in the mail.
Also, look at GS. That means grade school.
Right.
You may be looking for a men's shoe or a woman's shoe, and you might see GS, and it might be $30, $40 cheaper than you see in the store, and you go click. It's going 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9s, but they could be kid sizes or grade school sizes. So be careful with the acronyms that they put on there as well.
Right. So you have to know PS preschool, GS grade school, men's, women's. You have to know, which one of those you fall in, or if you're buying for somebody, you have to make sure that you're getting the right size in the right section.
Absolutely.
All right, people. Number 3 is going to be, we talked about this before, but I know it might have slipped past a couple people. And this just happened to me the other day. I was in the store the other day and I walked out because they tried to get me with this. Facts. Right up 69th Street. I walked out because they tried to get me with this. So number 3, ladies and gentlemen, is no wall displays.
I hate that. I'm like you, Ting. Like they'll tell you they'll have it, they'll go on the back and get the box and then get the wall display down. I don't want that.
Right. I don't want it.
I don't.
No wall displays, people. We're not doing that. You have to realize that if you getting a wall display shoe, a million people has then picked up that sneaker. Some people may have even tried it on. It's been getting dirty ever since they put it up there on that wall. So I don't do wall displays. Nah, we're not doing that. No wall displays, people. No wall displays. Anything left on wall displays before we go on now?
That was a great.
Hell no.
That's a description. No wall displays.
Thanks. No wall displays. Okay, number 4 is going to be mindful of the price, people. Number 4 is going to be price. So this is what you have to be mindful of. If you're in store, make sure you check the price tags. Make sure if that shoe's on sale, that you tell them that that shoe is on sale, because sometimes they'll try to charge you that regular price, not knowing that it's in the sale section.
Mm-hmm.
That shoe might be in the sale section. So even if you're looking online, you'll see, at the price if some are on sale, if this price has been cut because of, X, Y, and Z, bad box or whatever might be used. Check the price and make sure that that price is not only a price that's affordable for you, but also makes sense.
Makes sense.
Because if you go to a store and you see a $200 sneaker that's $20, something ain't right. Something ain't right. Something ain't right.
Not at all.
So number 4 is going to be price. Okay, number 5. Number 5 is going to be certification. Make sure if you're ordering online, there's a million websites that sell fake sneakers all day long, every day. There's a million fake sneaker websites. There's fake sneaker apps. Make sure this is a certified, reputable place. Now, if you're outside, if you're going to a store, that might be different. You might could walk into a mom and pop store and find a gem.
Mm-hmm.
But make sure when you go into that store, you do all these steps. You make sure you follow all these steps, 1 through 5, to make sure that these sneakers are certified.
They've even made it easier for the consumer, you, to check. There's barcodes that you can actually download. You can actually go into the Apple Store or the Android Store and download a barcode that will authenticate the sneaker. So inside of each shoe, if you didn't know, there's actually a scan code in here.
Right.
And you can actually, under the tongue, there's serial numbers, which allows you to either type the serial number in or scan the serial number. And it will tell you if your sneaker is a fake or not. It will tell you the design. It will tell you the name and make of the sneaker and the color, and will tell you if it's real or not. And you make the determination from there with your own eye test. So certification is a real deal thing. You can pay $600 for a fake.
Right.
Yep. You could pay.
And that's the only, good thing about the certified websites like with Go and Flight Club, that they have a certification process that they put the sneaker through before they ship it to you.
Absolutely.
So, like I said, a week or two ago, they was about to send me some flim flam, and then they checked that off in the certification process and just sent me my money back and said, "No, we're not gonna do him like that." So
Tracy has a question. Actually, that's a great question. I think a lot of people might not know.
What's up?
So Tracy says, "Are unauthorized, aka UA sneakers, fake?"
What's up? Unauthorized? It could be.
It could be.
Right,
You always you run the risk of putting yourself in a sticky situation when they're not authorized, because you have a lot of fakes out here. You have a lot.
Let me tell you when that happens. They give you the option on that most of the time. They give you the option on that most of the time, that if you want, like if you're in a rush and you want a fast rush shipping, they give you the option of just having it shipped straight to you without going through that process. But I always go through the process.
Like when like them Yeezys, right? I was expecting those sneakers to be here 2 weeks ago or a week ago. Still haven't gotten them yet.
Right.
They're still in StockX's possession because they're checking the authenticity of that shoe, because I clicked that I don't want a fake.
Right.
Or I don't want to rush. I want y'all to do y'all due diligence, and I want to make sure that this sneaker is real, because I don't want to pay $400 for a sneaker and that don't be real.
Right. So when it comes to unauthorized, that's a risk. If you want to take that risk, because it could be a good shoe. You don't know. It could just be one of those sites or one of those apps that don't do that certification process. So it could be a good shoe. I think it all depends on the sneaker that you're buying. Like if you buying a sneaker that they don't really make a lot of fakes of, like if you buy like a regular Air Max or a pair of Air Force One, something like that, like a mom and pop shoe, I wouldn't be mad at you, if you skip that process, if you bought the unauthorized shoe, because 9 times out of 10, they're not really making fakes of those. But realize that that's a risk that you're taking.
Another place too, like the Stock X's and the Goats, they get their shipping. Like people actually will send a picture or say that they have the shoe. So that shoe doesn't actually sit in Stock X's in most cases warehouse.
Right.
They sit in a person's home until that shoe that person clicked on is there next in line and they are in it. So if you click you wanted to go through the process, they actually will have that person ship the shoe from their house to StockX's authorization site. Then StockX will then authorize it and then ship it out to you.
Right.
Where if you choose not to go through that process, it goes from the person to you, which gets there faster.
Right. So he was saying that the sweatshop that makes the real ones, they also make bootlegs. Yeah, that is a possibility.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if you're getting something like from China.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're getting something from China, that's definitely a possibility. So that's why I always say if you're not, in a I need these tomorrow because I'm going out of town, or I need these tomorrow because the concert is the next day. If you're not in that fast kind of rush, just wait and go through the process. That's what I'm saying.
Especially those high coveted sneakers. Now, not every sneaker is going to have. You're not going to be subjected to that. Those high coveted sneakers like the Jordans, the Yeezys, those special sneakers that you have to wait in line for, or they'll come out on special release days.
Right.
You just go into the store buying a pair of Air Max.
Right.
2021s, that you can find them in any sneaker store. Don't worry about those.
Right.
But we're talking about the Jordans that come out on Tuesday. They sold out by 10:15 that Tuesday. Right. But you see them on a website that 3 weeks from now selling for $140 and they was $190. Then
right.
Stay away from them.
Right. That's why I said you go through the process. I know y'all might think it's a lot, but you don't want to get stuck with no bullshit. So just go through the process. So Angela is asking, are those apps like consolidation? So those apps are like, even Flight Club sometimes. Like Flight Club has their own, sneakers, but they also have sneakers that they take in from other people.
That's a consignment shop.
All right.
Yeah, it's on consignment. So, or what they'll do is you take them there, you sell them. Retailer, resell, retail. That's the big business right now.
Right.
Buying sneakers and reselling them is a stupid business. So why not be the middleman? Because what you're doing is, as the middleman, you're allowing your you have two customers as the middle. You got the person who went out and got the sneakers, and you got the person who wants to buy them.
Right.
So what happens is you are facilitating that transaction happening to where that person that's buying the sneaker feels comfortable with messing with that person that's selling the sneak.
Right.
But goes through you. I'm now going to collect my portion off of that sale, and I'm going to send it to you. Now you're going to continue to keep coming back. So that's how the funnel of funds continue to keep going around.
Right.
Flight Club, as you know, is awesome. Like we went to that store in person, right? Now that the internet direct to customer is a thing, and the sneaker world is just so big, they had to branch out and use the online system because not everybody can make it to New York.
Facts.
Or LA. They got two spots, LA and New York. Not everybody can make it there, so they had to make it to where their sneakers are still being sold. And so check them out. They're a good place to get. You can get rare sneakers or sneakers that you've seen years ago that you may have wanted, and they are in those stores.
Right. All right, now before we get into your segment, I want to ask you. Let's see what Marilyn's asking first. She said, I just use the apps to see what. Yeah.
That's true. Sometimes the apps be having more. Like I've realized, depending on certain Nikes, the apps will have them on there, but the store won't.
Right.
Like, so you got to be kind of, oh damn, the store they ain't even on the app. It's only on the app. They'll even tell you this is only on the app type of thing. We don't have them in the store.
App only sell. App only sell. All right. So Angela is asking. She said she thought Flight Club was like a regular store. Flight Club is a regular store, but they also do consignment. Like they also do like third party selling. So it's like a combination of both.
So when you went to the store and and it was a bunch of sneakers in there, those sneakers came from someone else.
Right.
Those sneakers weren't shipped to Flight Club from Nike. Those
Right.
sneakers actually came in from foot traffic. So
Right.
people like you and me stood in line, got them online or whatever, and took them to Flight Club and said, I want a profit. I bought them for $190. I want to sell them for $500-$600 because that's the business of sneakers. So Flight Club says, shit, I'll take them in, but I need percentage of it. I need a 3% or 5% flat off of what you sell it for. The person that's selling them don't care because they paid $190. They're asking for $500, so a little percentage is still a win. So when we went in that store,